not even knowing what to do or say. And the phone goes both ways. The kids can always call me.
A subtle, unanticipated, but explosive leak was the first step. The video was not intended for public consumption. Raw and unedited, it had been buried deep in the TLC archives. It was posted anonymously to a secret reality TV crew forum by a disappointed and irate post-production team member. However, it wasn't kept secret for long. It spread to fan subreddits in a matter of hours before going viral on social media. Formerly known as Christine Brown, Christine Woolley was lounging with her husband David at home in Utah. For once, life was tranquil. The children were out, and the house was silent. A vibrating stream of missed calls and texts broke that calm. "Christine, you must watch this. That altercation in Flagstaff. The real version was just released. Kody and Robyn were made public. You weren't insane." When Christine clicked the link, her hands shook. She felt sick to her stomach. This particular clip from the notorious Flagstaff blow-up had never been shown. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. The hidden scene. Robyn's request shortly after Christine had hurried out of Robyn's kitchen. The clip started. Kody paced. He appeared worn out but angry, evidently aware that they were catching something they weren't supposed to. The team kept rolling. Robyn narrowed her eyes and crossed her arms as she leaned on the counter. She growled. "She will never respect our marriage. You can either tell her to leave or get her to line up." Kody seemed unsurprised. He simply gave a slow nod. "She's envious," he whispered, "of what we possess." Robyn's tone hardened while her voice lowered. "I'm over my silence. I am your spouse, the authentic one. I must be safeguarded. The presence of Christine is poisonous. She is destroying our story." Unaware that a hot mic was still in use, she turned. "We cannot continue to broadcast her tantrums. I appear to be the villain as a result. Begin assigning blame right now." Kody let out a long sigh. All right. The harm was done, yet the scene ended there. The public clapback of Christine. For a full day, Christine didn't say anything. She required time to think, to take a breath, to stop being angry. But she didn't hold back once she was prepared. She shared a composed, straightforward video with her 1.1 million followers the following morning. "I remained silent out of deference. For my children, for the performance, for a family I once thought was real. However, after watching that video, there is no more room for silence." After trembling briefly, her voice steadied. "You instructed Kody to shift the blame, Robyn. You insisted that I be taken out. Then you pretended to be a victim while sitting on camera. And you agreed to it, Kody. For years, you deceived me by telling me I was having hallucinations. However, the truth is now visible to everyone." She smiled quietly. "I have no regrets about leaving. I'm sorry I stayed for so long." Robyn's intense response. Robyn was losing her mind. She demanded the leak be fixed over the phone with the producers. She screamed that her private image had been violated and sought lawyers. However, TLC was too silent. She didn't know what the higher-ups knew. The leak had sharply shifted public opinion against her, and ratings were rising. Robyn went live on Instagram, out of desperation. Faceless, sad, she shook her voice. "That video was contorted. It was a challenging day. I didn't mean to say those things in that way." Fans didn't buy it. The remark section was harsh. 101 gaslighting. "What you said was very clear. Christine needs an apology, not just an explanation." After seeing a comment that only stated, Robyn abruptly terminated the live stream halfway through. "You are not the true spouse. You are the last one." Mary and Janelle weigh in. The first to speak up was Janelle Brown. She wrote the following lengthy message on her story. I stood by Christine when she went, both in private and in public. But after watching that video, I was unaware of the extent of the treachery. All of us were tricked into thinking we were a part of something holy, but it wasn't sacrosanct. It was Robyn's kingdom. Unexpectedly, Mary intervened, acting bolder than she had ever done so. Loyalty meant sticking in my opinion. Silent endurance is what I considered strength. But it is complicity to remain silent in the face of injustice. Now I see you, Christine. I find you real. And I apologize for my role in letting that poison fester. Mary publicly sided with Christine for the first time. Fans noted Kody's anger and a fragmented heritage. A few days later, Kody Brown appeared on a fan-produced podcast in an attempt to restore what little reputation he still had. He defended himself, hostile, pointing the finger at Christine, the network, and the editors. He declared that clip was out of context. Fights occur in all families. The host remains unflinching. But not all husbands watch as one wife plots to banish the others. Kody lost his temper. In any case, Christine wanted to go. Nothing changes that footage. Does it not? The host inquired. Or does it merely validate that she left because she was being edged out psychologically? Cornered, Kody halted. He cast his gaze downward. He gazed for the first time in years. Tiny. Christine's last remark. Christine made another post 2 weeks later. Sunlight streamed in through the windows. Calm, bright, free. I've gotten time to think, and I've come to a realization. I didn't find that clip startling. It served as validation. The truth always comes to light. The gaslighting is now over. Thank you to all of my supporters. If you're a woman in a toxic marriage, follow your gut. And accountability is not equal to cruelty. Kody and Robyn, justice is served. She grinned and finished. I have found love, true love, a collaboration, a future, and I can't have that taken away from me by any clip, lying, or manipulation. Christine Woolley then turned to leave the last vestige of her past. But fans continued watching. Because rumors were starting to spread. The betrayal of production. Damage control was in full swing at TLC headquarters. A firestorm never seen since the early days of the Sister Wives Exposed movement had been sparked by the released tape. Executives at the network were more concerned about exposure than ratings, because this was the reality. They knew it. Senior producers had examined the uncut footage, Robyn's manipulation, Kody's cooperation, the order to shift the blame. Everything had been captured on camera and purposefully omitted from the episodes that were broadcast. An unnamed producer told a journalist, "We made editorial decisions to preserve the integrity of the family dynamic. The reality, we knew that if people saw the whole picture, they would not support Robyn." This admission of editorial collusion came as a huge shock. McHale and Gwendolyn's public reaction. There had always been disagreement among Pustine's kids about how much to say in public, but everything changed after the leak. Known long for her scarring remarks and unvarnished candor, Gwendolyn Brown uploaded a fiery 9-minute video to her YouTube page with the title, "They Let My Mom Be Humiliated and We All Knew Why." Her teeth were clenched. She said, "I used to yell at the TV when we watched the shows together. I knew what Robyn was doing. She would smile on camera and then tell Kody off screen that my mom was unstable or jealous. What about the producers? They fueled that story. They made it possible. Do you think Robyn accidentally came across as the victim?" Tears sparkled in her eyes. "My mom deserved better. And so did we." The always tactful daughter, McHale, shocked everyone with her unfiltered Instagram story. It wasn't even as bad as the scene that leaked. You should have seen Robyn's remarks about Truly. They used loyalty as a weapon to manipulate my mother. But she managed to escape. And suddenly, what we've known for years is visible to the world. The insider whistleblower for TLC. The last straw was delivered by a former editor who broke her NDA in a shocking Substack piece titled, "This is what you were never intended to see." The legacy of Christine begins. New family photos were now displayed on the wall of Christine's living room. Real photos, not posed with matching attire. Moments without filters. Laughter, children's faces covered in dirt, David's beard being pulled by grandkids, and a wooden sign over them all. The family you create is more resilient than the one you flee. Christine stared directly at the camera during a confessional that was recorded for the season finale. For years, I believed that in order to fit into someone else's mold, I had to diminish myself. Now, though, I've finished drinking. This new chapter, this family, this house, it's everything I've ever desired. August 1st, that was the night that everything changed for the actors and a few chosen network insiders, media personalities, and devoted viewers. TLC threw a special viewing party in Salt Lake City. It took place in a stunning garden setting with a view of the Wasatch Mountains. The mood was created by soft acoustic music, locally produced cuisine, and twinkling lights. But nothing could have prepared anyone for what would air that evening. With a serene, strong smile and a navy blue dress, Christine and David entered the event hand in hand. Janelle and her daughter Savannah came next. With unrepentant delight, Gwendolyn and her fiancé came in a suit. Cameras, laughing, and admiration encircled McKelty and her babies. The audience cheered enthusiastically as the premiere of the reclaimed Sister Wives appeared on the enormous screen. The touching first episode, the first scenario, was straightforward. Christine in her kitchen, quietly drinking coffee while the sun shone. Then she spoke. I had to leave in order to discover who I was. The story doesn't finish here. The reality is just getting started. The episode featured Janelle having an honest talk about her independence and loss, Christine visiting her daughters, and the first ever video of David sitting down with Truly and softly saying, "You've experienced a lot. I'm not here to take your father's place. I'm here to demonstrate what love looks like to you." There was silence in the room. Tears were being wiped away by many. Overwhelmed, even seasoned producers turned away. The entire audience gave a standing ovation by the time the credits rolled. Normally calm, Christine blinked quickly as tears came. This fulfilled every wish I had. We told more than just our tale. As we told it, we recovered. TikTok videos showed viewers of the premiere responding in real time, with some sobbing and others applauding. The most reposted video of the week was a montage showing Christine entering her new house, dancing with her grandchildren in the living room, and laughing with Janelle. One tweet that went viral said, "We saw Christine get ignored for 17 seasons. We witnessed her honored tonight. What a complete circle." The live dissection of Mary Brown. Mary stayed at her B&B in Utah and watched the premiere by herself. The viewing party had not extended an invitation to her. Her participation in the relaunch had not been requested. However, admirers were constantly texting her to ask her what she thought, making her phone buzz. She went live on Instagram, something she hardly ever did anymore. Her voice was scratchy as she said, "I just watched the episode. Christine, you look so joyful, Janelle, and I'm happy about it." "Really?" Then the tears started to flow. For a long time, I believed that devotion entailed keeping quiet, that if I simply remained, someone would ultimately pick me one day. But I only ever received the leftovers. She hesitated. Her voice broke. I lingered too long. I forgot who I was. That is not someone else's fault. But when I watched Christine laugh and dance today, I realized that's what I also desire. Fans were astonished by the announcement. Mary formally declared it the following morning. Her publicist released the following press release. Mary Brown will be moving full-time to her Utah company and permanently leaving the Flagstaff property. She has decided to follow her own path separate from the heritage of the Brown family. But that wasn't all. TLC announced that they had approved the following short spin-off docuseries, Becoming Mary, a path to self-worth, rediscovery, and reclaiming during a spiritual exile. Robyn and Kody observed the world changing. Kody didn't make an announcement. Robyn didn't log on. Insiders in Flagstaff said that Kody was upset not at TLC, but at Mary. According to the insider, he believed Mary would always remain faithful. After witnessing her go public, did she take a spin-off offer? He was broken by that. Mary never picked up when he allegedly called her several times. Meanwhile, Robyn had turned inward. Once often spotted in public, her kids were kept indoors. She didn't post anything on social media. Her jewelry business had also quietly closed. No one was coming to lament the loss of their kingdom. Last remarks from Christine at the aftershow. Christine took questions from a live studio audience of fans. At the premiere night after show, one fan sprang to his feet, trembling. Christine, how did you manage to endure being ignored for so long? Christine gave a quiet smile. Because I felt in my heart that something better was on the horizon. I didn't know how it would look or when it would happen, but I knew I was deserving of happiness, of peace, of true love. She looked across to David in the crowd, and I was right. The audience erupted in cheers. Let us know in your comments and stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks, everyone. I edited the sister wives' lies. She explained in the piece how TLC officials instructed producers to soften Robyn's image as her business endorsements started to suffer due to unfavorable fan comments. We were instructed to keep Robyn safe. Those words, literally, keep Robyn safe, make Christine feel something, make Kody appear perplexed without being mean. We created a false world. She continued by describing hours of unutilized footage, which included several situations in which Robyn seemed to plan behind closed doors and occasionally even threatened to remove her children from the camera if she didn't get her way. Christine had genuine breakdowns. Her suffering was genuine, and we made it into a form of amusement. Kody and Robyn withdraw into quiet. Robyn and Kody fell silent for the first time in 10 years. Not a single live stream. Nothing to say, no interviews. Robyn removed the remarks. The cameo page for Kody vanished. They avoided making eye contact as paparazzi watched them drive away from Flagstaff in a black SUV. Supporters conjectured that they were withdrawing to a lawyer's office or maybe making plans to move again. Insiders said the network was done shielding them, despite rumors that Kody was lobbying TLC to provide a redemption arc. They are poisonous now. Too poisonous to repackage. One producer declared the fairy tale is no longer convincing to the audience. Christine's silent triumph. Christine didn't take pride. She didn't RT the popular hashtags or add a told you so. She only posted a picture of herself and David hiking close to Zion National Park. No makeup, no captions, just tranquility. Fans, however, understood what it meant. She had prevailed, not by retaliation, but through truth, freedom, and the unwavering force of genuineness. The last illusion vanished as her daughter stood by her side and the entire globe came together in support of her. The victim was never Robyn. The issue was never Christine. And furthermore, Kody Brown was merely the focal point of a failing empire. He was never the patriarch. There was tension in the boardroom at TLC's corporate headquarters. There was an increase in viewership, but for the wrong reasons. People weren't watching for spiritual or sentimental moments with their families. They were seeing an implosion in slow time. Furthermore, the data was honest. Viewers' approval rating of Robyn had fallen to an all-time low. Kody's once fragile trust factor has completely vanished. Even the older footage from Christine's portions were drawing 3 times as much engagement as Kody's. LaToya Granger, TLC's chief executive, made the decision in a direct and private call. "We have lost interest in keeping Robyn and Kody on as employees. This program needs a makeover. Christine, her girls, and their reality is the voice that the audience has chosen. The new legacy is that Sister Wives Reclaimed was the code name for the internal project." Robyn and Kody have been fired officially. The call came to Kody first. He made an effort to compromise. He maintained that he was still the patriarch and the main character in the series. "Without me, Sister Wives wouldn't be possible," he snarled into the phone. The network rep, however, seemed unconvinced. "Kody, you don't have Sister Wives already, and it's been a while since you did." Robyn reportedly broke down in tears upon learning the news. She thought her partnership with TLC was unbreakable. As a co-creator of the brand, she had viewed herself as the protector of the family's image. Rather, her contract was canceled immediately without a provision for renewal. They left quietly. No farewell show, no feature that goes behind the scenes, only a door that closes. Within 48 hours, Janelle, Christine, and the daughters take over. The TLC reboot crew took a plane to Utah. Christine gave them a stern but kind greeting. "This must be real if we are to proceed. Not a script. Avoid being phony. My children have the last say in what airs. And additionally, I want to demonstrate what healing looks like. Achieving thriving rather than only surviving." Janelle, who had recently moved to a nearby home, also participated in the conversations. Despite her dislike of cameras, she agreed to take part as long as her children's stories were honored. The producers were ecstatic. It was electrifying to watch the spontaneous, unfiltered interactions between Christine, Janelle, and their older children, particularly Gwen, Mikhail T., Savannah, and Pon. The tentative title for the pilot episode was After the Fire, Rebuilding the Real Sisterhood. First day of filming. The new tone. On a cold morning in Utah, filming got underway. David and Christine hosted a brunch at their house. Grandchildren, daughters, laughter, and freedom filled the table. Nobody was overly cautious. Nobody censored their speech to boost the pride of others. While holding her infant daughter, McKelty opened up about what it was like to grow up in the shadow of Robyn. Gwendolyn publicly made jokes about being LGBT and defying the family's previously held beliefs. After Janelle left, Savannah, who had been silent for a while, finally talked about her father abandoning her. They cried, but they weren't the silent, repressed old type. These were tears of healing, cleaning. What about Christine? She was radiating. She said to the camera, "Now you're seeing the real story. Our lives will no longer be censored. We start over here because this is who we are." The most influential change to date. Fan reaction. Fans went crazy when Sister Wives Reclaimed's teaser trailer was shown on TLC. Christine, David, and all the adult children were shown in the 90-second video smiling, laughing, crying, and generally living. No Kody, no Robyn. The former dynamic was not mentioned. Rather, it concluded with a quote displayed on a black screen in bold white letters. "The issue was never us. The future was us." Hashtag Sister Wives Reclaim became a global trend in a matter of hours. Internet was inundated with fan reactions. This is the version that we have been anticipating. Robyn and Kody thought they were the star. As it happens, Christine steals the show. Gwen should have her own spin-off right away. Kody's silent disintegration. Kody has changed completely since returning to Flagstaff. He hardly left the house. A neighbor told a local reporter. He no longer drove his sports car, had a beard, and was unkempt. He was photographed by paparazzi pacing his driveway by himself with his hands in his hair. Most of the kids didn't answer when he tried to reach them. Dayton and Aurora were the only ones still near. It was reported that even the now older Brianna had discreetly withdrawn herself, preferring academic life to mayhem. Robyn stayed indoors. She never again showed her face on camera. The empire had vanished, and there was no TLC crew coming to clean it up this time.